Hey everybody, it's Kristen Smedley, the author of What I Can Be Is Up to Me. I am saying that with my arms stretched out and a big goofy smile on my face as I'm looking at it in my Zoom camera. The giant poster of the book is behind me. The mock-up of the book is standing in front of that poster, and I've never been so excited to be getting this book in the world because first of all, the folks that I have gotten to meet to put this book together and that you all are going to meet through these interviews and then in the book is, oh my goodness, so exciting. So I am thrilled to have Tina Caruso here with us today, coming to you from Boston, where she lives, where we were just chatting before we hit record that we're going to be trying to put together we are going to put together a fun part of the book tour up in Boston area. And I said, well, maybe not in the winter. We'll wait until it's super great as the winter is turning into
You
spring.
don't
But
want to
anyway,
see Kirsten slipping and sliding up here. Complete Southern girl.
I will say though, Boston, no matter what time of year, by the water there is unbelievably gorgeous. And I've been there at every single different season. And it really is when you're bitter cold, it sure is nice to have a really cool view like that. Okay, Tina. Oh my goodness. Tell us, well, first of all, your schedule, trying to find a time for you to squeeze in 10 minutes from me was your schedule's jam-packed, which is part of the whole thriving with blindness concept. I love it that all the people in this book are so busy, but so am I. So that was a bit of a challenge. What are you up to? What was happening today? You're in college, right?
Yes, I am. And the first semester of this year is so inaccessible that you probably can, if you follow me at Blindsided on Boston in Boston, you can probably tell how fed up I am with the film camera that you have to lug around and it's not accessible for people that are visually impaired.
Oh, let me tell you something, sister. This whole accessibility in college has my hair like breaking off at the ends. I'm wearing a hat today because it stands up. I get so frustrated. Let's reveal though what it is, and then we'll jump back into the college
Yeah.
stuff. What it is that we're highlighting in this book about what you do.
I am a photographer. I'm going to photography school, and I know there's going to be a lot of kids out there that probably have my vision impairment as well, which is cortical cerebral vision impairment. That's just the merge of two because people can't decide if it's cerebral or cortical, so you just merge the two together and it's basically CVI. And I can't wait to see how many kids relate to this book because I know CVI is not talked about a lot and I know we're in the shadows. But thank you so much, Kirsten
Kristen.
um for um for highlighting my community because our community is starting to get out there, but we're not well known. So thank you so much for putting me that can represent my community and also a visually impaired person of color, which is great.
Yeah, you're like all the things, Tina. You are all the things that I didn't even realize. I found out about you from Diana, that's on our team, which everyone's going to get to meet our team very soon. I've got them very busy working on the Kickstarter. And then we'll do these fun videos to meet the team. But Diana, her and I got into a conversation because she's a teacher of the visually impaired. And we got into a conversation about CVI and how both of us were like, oh my gosh, this is a community that has been so, like you said, Tina, in the shadows, not being served. And there are quite a few powerhouse
I
parents in the
think
community.
give me a second. Sorry.
They're
Just
really
keep
calling
talking as
attention.
I'm looking up the statistics on Perkins. I think it's over 3,000 something. I don't know. I looked it up during CVI month. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, in the US alone.
Yeah, right. It's a huge it's a huge population considering visual impairments, and there's so many different small communities, and this community has just not been served. I can't even say not served well. It just hasn't been served. So some really big leaders stepped up and said, we're going to call attention to this. We're going to hold this country accountable. And oh my goodness, the mountains they've moved. So So you're right. This is like breaking new ground here that we have someone from the CVI community involved in the Thriving Blind Project, and we are already lining up some additional ones. I know that you're wait, tell us how you're looking up the what are you
I'm looking it up on Instagram because I know they have it on Instagram somewhere. I just don't know where on Instagram. It's kind of frustrating.
No, the reason I want you to tell people, how are you, because people are going to say, wait a minute, Tina's visually impaired and she's on Instagram.
I'm just trying right now. I'm struggle busing because I don't want you guys to see my phone, but I usually have it this close to my face.
Yes. Yes. That's what I wanted to get at. That's what my Mitchell does too. And people think, well, if you're blind or low vision, how could you use a phone? Well, some people can pull it closer.
Okay,
Some people zoom
you can
it.
we can do a whole nother video later about
Oh,
CVI.
darn. We'll just have to talk again. Oh, darn,
Yes.
Tina.
I
We'll
can't
have
figure out
a
where it
weekly show,
is.
the Kristen and
Perkins,
Tina
why
show.
is this so inaccessible?
That is the frustration of so many people trying to get all of this stuff accessible. Let's dive in for a quick second though, because I know you have to get back to school
No,
stuff.
I don't think so. Not today. Not
Tell
a
me,
lot.
let's talk about when you and I met and we had our first Zoom call. You were talking about how you access the pictures, how the different pieces of equipment to be able to see the picture that you took. Tell folks how you do that. I think it was with your phone too.
How I use photography, it helps me see the world because I use my phone or a digital camera, not my 4x5 that's so inaccessible. Is that I like macro and I like to zoom really close into things to be able to see what I'm seeing, and then I take the photo of it. But this semester I've not been able to do it. This is kind of crazy to say, but with the 4x5, I'm letting the 4x5 camera be my eyes, and I'm being my CVI and messing
Really?
around with it and making it really hard to see. Don't ask me. My professor's not happy about my approach, but
Hey.
you know what? If you're going to give me a tool that is that is as useless as my eyes, I will make it so I'm my brain screwing it up for it. So,
Well, see, this is the thing that I say all the time. People with blindness and low vision figure stuff out. You guys are creative thinkers, innovative. Like a lot of people with what you just talked about, Tina, there's a lot of people that would say, well, I can't take this class because I can't use this equipment and my eyes aren't working right. So I'm done. And that's exactly what we want to reverse. No, let's keep going. Figure it out.
my
Your professor
professor's
might have
not
a
very
heart
happy
attack.
with my very blurry photos of my 4x5, but he's gonna have to deal with it unless he gives me the digital camera in the next month.
I love that you just said that. He's going to have to deal with it unless there's the equipment that actually works. Well, let me ask you this, Tina. I mean, look, I'm old, so everybody younger than me is young, and you are quite young and articulate and going after what you want. Have you always been like this, or was there just like something happened that you're like, wait a minute, I'm going to go after all this?
Well, my advocacy journey has been such a crazy journey. I lost my dad at 13 going on 14. I started going to grief camps. I became an advocate for them for children's grief, but I just felt like I really did not belong in that community because I was a person of color with disabilities. At that time, I did not know I was visually impaired. I just was with a ton of typically developing kids who were taking SATs, going to college, doing college prep like that, and it just did not feel like an environment. Plus, just it did not feel. Plus, because I'm a person of color, it just did not feel like the white environment was meant for me. So I just stopped volunteering there, and then very recently, during was it 2020, spring of 2020, the Stop Asian Hate movement, I started going out there taking photos for people, but I also did not feel like I belonged because of my vision issues and my disabilities, and I just felt like an outsider looking in. So I kind of stopped, but then Perkins gave me this amazing opportunity in 2000, around like 2021 to now, where I started talking about my CVI journey, and it just felt like it was finally something that clicked to me.
I had no idea of that journey, that is, oh my gosh, you're like touching my heart here, Tina, because I didn't realize. I mean, we've been having so much
Yeah.
fun and goofing around when we talk and when we Instagram
Yeah.
DM. I didn't realize. So here's what I want to make sure that lands with folks.
Yeah.
You had the one community that you're working with, advocate, and then you don't feel like you belong. So you just sit back and say, let me think about this. Then the next one comes and you dive into that, help that community. Okay, that didn't work out. And now this one. You don't stop.
No.
What I love about what you just said is you do take a step back. You acknowledge how you're feeling about it. You took a step back and said, this isn't working for me. Let me wait for what is going to work. And you just keep going.
So I
That's
feel like I
fantastic.
finally landed at a place where I can be who I want to be. I can be a Chinese adoptee. I can be a disabled, visual, functionally blind person, and I can be a photographer, because everyone just is within my community. I just got a text from someone yesterday that said I actually have a video on Perkins. Maybe I can send you the link later, Kirsten.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But he said he showed it at some conference about CVI, or when he was talking to people about CVI, and it just really clicked with them. And he
Wow.
said, thank you for this work. So I
Wow.
just feel like I'm finally in the communities that I'm supposed to be in, and not trying to reach out to people that are just like, oh, since I'm Chinese adoptee, like, oh, hey, it's like Asians, because we're seeing our parents getting beaten up, our grandparents. We want to go out there. For me, I never connected with that because I don't know my birth parents. And actually, that's another reason. Next month, if you go follow Blindsided in Boston, you're going to hear my whole story on being disabled and learn about my vision impairment, and just how I don't know how I became disabled, and what along in my story, the fact that I was in an orphanage, the fact that I don't know my family history. We don't know how I have CVI, but I do have CVI.
Wow.
So next month is going to be about that.
Man, you are such the thriving blind in action story. And I'm particularly thinking as I'm hearing you talk, Tina, especially since you're a younger adult. I'm thinking about kids. Now I know that what I can be is up to me is for
Yeah.
the 6-year-olds very early on in their journey, that they feel empowered and they know that they're empowered. I'm also thinking about your words just now, though, landing with middle schoolers and high schoolers that are trying to find, their people, their crowd, and they're trying to fit in, and they know it's not right. They know it doesn't feel right. Your words are giving people courage then to say, you know what? I'm going to step away from this crowd. It doesn't feel right. Let me see what else comes along. Let me see what else. Because I feel like we tend to, as young people, way back in the day when I was amongst the young people as a young person, you just feel like you got to shove yourself in there and make it work. And that's not the case. That's absolutely not the case. And you're proof of that.
And also, I feel like with little kids, they might know that they're like 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds, they might not know they have a vision impairment, don't know they can't explain CVI to the peers, to the teachers. They know something's going on, but I feel like they should just know that, like, even if it's just turbulent, they just don't have a community at school, that there is, like, maybe they should ask their parents, if the parents allow it, because I've seen a lot of really cool visually impaired, even children with CVI on Instagram. And it just brings me hope that there's even younger generation between like your son's age. I don't think I'm your son's age. I don't know how old your sons are, but like from that age to like even the 6-year-olds, even the 12-year-olds are getting in. I follow like 3 and 4-year-olds with CVI.
Wow. I think you're exactly right. Using social media to share stories and experiences with life with a visual impairment has been one of the greatest uses of social media I've ever seen. And I'm actually, my daughter Carissa, who's 18, is not happy about this, Tina, but I'm on TikTok and I've connected with a bunch of college students and college age students and high school
I know, I
students.
follow you.
And
I'm proud of you.
I have myself a good time on TikTok. And she's
Yes.
like, oh my gosh. But you're right. When I saw the people on TikTok and Instagram that have the followings that they have, and just sharing their lives. It is so, I don't like the word normal, but people think that blindness and visual impairment is so not normal. And I'm like, well, you all are living, all these people are living regular lives. They just happen to
No, they're
access the
the
world
ones that are
differently.
blindsided
They
to
are
the blind
blindsided.
community.
You're exactly right. Well, we're changing that. We're changing that with this book. We're changing that with the community that we're building at Thriving Blind and Thriving Blind Academy. And I love that you're a part of this, Tina. I know we got to wrap up, so we got to
Yep.
get to some other things, but say again your Instagram. And if you want people to go to TikTok too, let us know.
Both of my Instagram and TikTok is blindsided _ Give me a second. Oh no.
I'm trying to remember what it is too.
I remember what it is, but I just have so many weird hyphenations in it.
Well, that's the thing with those handles, that you have to do hyphen or underscore.
Yeah,
And then
it's
people have
so
it in the
it
beginning.
my Instagram and TikTok are blindsided _ Boston.
Okay, perfect. So now everyone has heard that. We will also include it in the links with this video. And when it's on the different platforms, I will attach the, I always get the words wrong, handle thingy with the @ symbol, whatever it's called. We're going to find you. Everybody go and follow Tina, follow the journey of Tina's photography and photography school and all the fun things that she does, and follow the journey of this book. Make sure, I'm going to hold the book up, that you go on Kickstarter and get your copy ordered of What I Can Be Is Up to Me. Oh my goodness, we're going to have a good time with this book. As of today, where we're recording this, there are 16 days left. It is October 20th that we're recording this. So make sure you go over there and get it before. You're not going to be able to get a copy until probably the end of next year, because we have so much going on. Okay, Tina, thanks a gajillion for being a part of the book and for chatting with me today. And I really think we need to consider having a Kristen and Tina show. I think we could have a good time.
See you later, Kirsten.
All right. Thank you.